What's up, everybody? My name's Parasite. Welcome back to Schoolboy to Superstar with Borussia Dortmund. Today we have Schalke in the Bundesliga. I figured I'd come back for Schalke because it's a big rivalry match. It felt like the right time to come back to. There's some things I wanted to share about what's going on in the save. Starting with this, Haaland has claimed the FIFA Ballon d'Or. So our striker is now a Ballon d'Or winner. He overtook Cristiano Ronaldo, apparently by some way. Cristiano Ronaldo of Juventus was some way off in second place, with Barcelona's Lionel Messi a close third. So it was Haaland, a gap, then Ronaldo and Messi. So, yeah, Haaland's a little bit good. 42 appearances, 48 goals, 18 assists. Compared to Ronaldo, who had 33 and 13, so a lot more, even though they had the same average rating. And then Lionel Messi, who had 21 and 22 assists, which is pretty ridiculous. But 21 goals compared to 48. So, yeah, Erling Haaland deserved the Ballon d'Or. He also won the FIFA Best Men's Player. He's also in the FIFA Pro Player of the Year. Moukoko is the best under-21 men's player. FIFA Best Under-21 men's player, so that's a really cool award to get him. 26 goals and 29 appearances. He is killing it now. 18 years old, and he is dominating in the Bundesliga. In terms of the FIFA Pro Team of the Year, it's just Haaland in there. I was hoping I could get, like, Giovanni Reina. But, I mean, Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes are kind of a hard trio to beat out, so I'm not too upset. Like, I don't think any of our defenders really deserved it. Maybe Sancho over Sterling, but Sancho doesn't even get picked for the England squad anymore, for some reason. That doesn't make any sense to me, but for some reason, he doesn't even get picked for the England squad. So I don't think he's going to take his spot in the FIFA Pro Team of the Year. Moukoko, also the African Footballer of the Year, because he is declared for Cameroon. Youssoufa Moukoko, the German, going to be a German international, has declared for Cameroon over Germany. He actually declared a little bit ago. He's had 16 appearances for Cameroon and 12 goals. So, I mean, he's dominating for Cameroon, but he could be Germany's number one. He is Germany's future number one. I don't know if he can make the switch, because I know, isn't there a thing where you can make like a one-time switch? You have to have only a certain number of caps or something like that? Isn't it only if you have like one cap you can make a switch or something? I don't know. I don't know the eligibility rules, but it feels a little weird to declare for Cameroon over Germany when he's good enough to be the starter for Germany for a long time. That was a little weird to me. Reina does get the North American Player of the Year, so he did end up with an award. The best player in the Americas, in the North Americas. So, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Moukoko also got Golden Boy. So if we look at the Golden Boy, last year, Gio Reyna got it. This year, Youssoufa Moukoko gets it. We are dominating the Golden Boy Award. That's good to see. Reyna, USA Young Player of the Year, over Dest and Musa. And those are all the awards. Moukoko dedicates his African Footballer of the Year, FIFA Under-21's Best Men's Player, and European Golden Boy to me. The guy who had faith in him this season that he could step up and take the place of anyone that could play on the left wing. And he has rewarded my faith with absolutely dominant play. So that's great to see. In terms of, I'll show the schedule now. What we've played since we last saw you. It's been going well. We had a big break, but we did play a couple games after the Inter match. After that really disappointing Inter match, we beat Leipzig 4-0, so that was a great bounce back there, because Leipzig are a good team. Doing well in the Bundesliga. Where are they now? They are 8th. Okay, they've really fallen off recently. They were like 4th when we played them. Now they're currently 8th, but I'm not going to take away from them still being they're still a good team. So that was a very impressive victory. Jude Bellingham with the brace, Moukoko with the goal, Zagadou with the goal. We then played Sociedad in the match we had to win, basically had to win to secure the top of the group, which we did do. So we did finish top of the group against Sociedad, or against Sociedad and Inter. Finished top of the group. So that was good. Youssoufa Moukoko with a hat trick this game, a first half hat trick. We were up 5-0 at halftime. It was just a flat out dominating performance away from home as well. It's like to go away and dominate like that, super impressive. We then had a very long break because the World Cup was going on. So we played a few friendlies after the players got back from the World Cup, but yeah, pretty long break with no playing, and it kind of showed in the first game back. Played Leverkusen, won 3-2 in the end, but it was not convincing. We actually got the first goal in the 42nd minute, but they quickly equalized in the 46th with Florian Wirtz, started the second half. Then they actually made it 2-1 in the 73rd minute. No. I'll take that back. Holland scored in the 50, basically the stoppage time in the first half. Almost skipped over that goal. Scored in the stoppage time in the first half, so we were actually up 2-0. Then they brought it back. Then they brought it back again to 2-2. But Holland, of course, steps up to get his hat trick in the 76th minute. I don't know. I'm really concerned about Holland's future at this club because he only has like 2 years left on his deal, or 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, and he's not wanting to talk about a new deal because every single game he plays, both PSG and I believe Manchester United watch and comment on him and say how much they want him to come to their club. Every single game he plays in, it's always a news highlight. Like, oh, Paris Saint-Germain scouts sent to watch the game. Their players are urging him to join PSG after every single game. So he's not willing to discuss on a contract. If we go to offer him a contract, he doesn't believe our squad is strong enough to play at a level matching his ambitions. That actually is new. So that's unfortunate. But before it just said there was interest in him, so he wasn't willing to discuss a new contract. But now he thinks he's better than Borussia Dortmund, who won the Bundesliga last year, and who won the Champions League 2 years ago. I don't think you realize how big this club is. We are probably one of the best. I think we'll need to win the Champions League this year if we're going to keep Erling Haaland. Because I think he needs to be shown that we are the best club in the world. And I think that's exactly what we are. I think we're the strongest club. We might have lost to Real Madrid in the FIFA Club World Cup, but we didn't have Haaland then. Our team is much better now. Our team has been playing magnificently to start this season. So I think if the roles were switched, Erling Haaland was in there, they were missing their best striker, we would have whooped them. I still think we're the best club in the world. So we're going to have to show it if we're going to keep Erling Haaland. Our last game before the Schalke match, we played Hanover, beat them 4-1. Demir getting a goal. So we actually rotated a lot for this match because they were like 16th. So I was like, I'm okay putting in some youngsters. Van de Voort started, Nets, Nnamdi Collins, Calafiori, Chan and Nico started. Demir still started Yusufu Mukoko and Erling Haaland up top, but Haaland get a brace, Chan with a goal, very comfortable victory. I think we were up 3-0 by the time they scored their one equalizer, but the game was pretty much already over at that point, so good win. And I was talking about the World Cup. Let's show you the World Cup. It's one more thing. I got two more things I want to do before we get to the game. First, it's going to show the World Cup because it was an interesting World Cup. I haven't looked at all the results. You see, might be spoiled there for the result, but let's go to the groups. Uruguay and Ghana get out of their group. Ukraine finished 4th, behind Qatar. That's not very good for Ukraine. USA finishing top of a group with Brazil in it, on goal difference, I think it is. That's pretty crazy. Over Australia and Algeria, Mexico and Spain getting through their group. Kind of to be expected with Turkey and Tunisia falling out. Portugal and South Korea pipping England to the World Cup knockout rounds. England knocked out in the group stage to South Korea. And they legitimately lost to South Korea and Portugal. Their only win was against Costa Rica. That is shocking from England. That is absolutely shocking. Also, just a little hint, top goal scorer for the World Cup, Conrad de la Fuente, the American. That might show you just how well USA did in this World Cup. That they actually had the top goal scorer. That's pretty impressive. But back to the groups. Belgium and Switzerland, kind of to be expected with this one. I mean, Egypt and Chile had a chance, but I think those are probably the two strongest teams. Holland and Italy, that's to be expected. They're much better than Iran or Ivory Coast. Colombia and Russia getting out before Germany. Germany knocked out in the group stage, as well as England. Both in the group stage, both finishing 3rd. Both getting their only win against the worst team in the group. They actually beat them 6-0, Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is probably everyone's whipping boy, weren't they? 6-0, 3-0, 4-1. Yeah, pretty much. But Colombia and Russia getting out of the groups. That's crazy. Germany not making it. Croatia and Argentina getting out of their groups. That's to be expected with Iceland and Japan in there. So the next round, the second round of the World Cup, Uruguay beat Brazil. So Brazil knocked out early. USA beat Ghana. So that's kind of a rematch of previous World Cup game that I think USA won as well. Mexico beat South Korea 3-2. Spain beat Portugal 2-1, a very big match for the second round. Italy beat Belgium, another big game. Switzerland beat Holland. Argentina beat Colombia, and Russia beat Croatia. So some interesting results there. Quarterfinal, Spain beats Uruguay in extra time. USA beats Mexico. That would be the greatest game in USA history. If USA beat Mexico in the quarterfinal of a World Cup, I would never stop talking about that result. That would be huge. I would never stop talking about the time that USA knocks out Mexico in the group stage to get to the semifinals of a World Cup. That'd be the greatest moment of my life. That'd be amazing. Italy beats Russia in extra time, and Argentina beats Switzerland. So the semifinal, Spain beats Argentina, and USA loses to Italy on penalties. And they didn't deserve it. They should have won the game. If we look at the match stats, 15 shots, 8 on target, 2 XG to 1.2. They didn't have the possession lead, but more passes completed. They were the better team. The USA outplayed Italy with this squad. Balogun and De La Fuente up top. You think, oh, where's your best player? Right there on the bench. Christian Pulisic started one game this World Cup. They got to a semifinal and Christian Pulisic started one game. Unbelievable. Whoever managed this team should be fired immediately. I know they got to the semifinal, but you play Christian Pulisic. He's, okay, maybe not anymore with being the best player. Reyna's probably the best player because Reyna is ridiculous. But Pulisic's easily the second best player. You can't play Conrad De La Fuente and Balogun over Christian Pulisic. Even if you're going to play this formation, play Pulisic as a striker. He could do that. Pulisic can play striker. He's done it before. Unbelievable. They did not play Christian Pulisic. But they made it to a semifinal, so maybe they know better than I do. I mean, that's a pretty good squad result. I mean, Bello 7, Des 7, Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers started at center back. That's crazy. 7.1. Musa McKinney, Reyna, De La Fuente, all played well. Look how long the penalty shootout went to. It almost got to the goalkeepers. Matt Miazga, probably one of our last penalty takers, missed to lose us the game in the semifinal of a World Cup. They did not miss a single penalty. Unbelievable. I would cry if this was the result. So close. The USA would be so close to a World Cup final. Their first ever. But it wasn't to be. But in the third place playoff, they beat Argentina. So USA, with their best ever finish at a World Cup, third place, that's huge. That's huge for the USA. As a USA guy myself, that's huge. But in the final, I might have already seen it because it's spoiled everywhere, but Spain beat Italy on penalties. So Italy goes to penalties in 2 straight games, both 2-2s. Win the first one, lose the second one, and Spain are your World Cup champions. What a World Cup that is. England and Germany missing out on the knockout rounds. USA getting to the semifinal and losing on penalties to Italy. If that's the World Cup here in a year, 2 years, I'd be okay with that. That'd be a good World Cup. That'd be great to watch, at least. I know England fans might not want that, but for me, great by me. It's a great World Cup. One last thing I want to show you before we get to the game. We have made a few transfers. The transfer window has started. We already made a few transfers already. 2 of them, to be precise. One of them, Tim Sebastian Massoth Bader. A mouthful, but German player from RB Leipzig. 14.5, raising to 16 million. So not a cheap price, but 5-star potential, 1.5 current ability, 16 years old, striker. I don't know if he's a striker or not. He only has 10 finishing. But he only has 10 passing as well. He only has 10 acceleration, but so many of those numbers are so good. 16 off the ball, 16 flares, 17 work rate, 15 dribbling and first touch, 13 long shots, 14 composure. He's got a lot of good attributes. I think he's worth the money. And he's German. I want to keep as many German players at this club as I can. Like, if there's a German guy on the block that I can get, I want to get him. If he has 5-star potential, I want to bring him to Borussia Dortmund. I want all the Germany players stocked up at Borussia Dortmund, except for the Bayern ones, because I probably can't buy a Bayern player off Bayern to come to Dortmund, even though we are the bigger team right now. And then our second signing, Rayan Pinot from AS Monaco for 10 million, an absolute bargain, because this guy is a stud. He's a center back. I think he's a center back. He's only 6 foot, but look at those physicals already. He only has 11 jumping reach, only 6 foot tall, but 15 pace, 13 strength, 13 acceleration, 14 agility, 18 balance at 17 years old, 16 marking, 16 tackling, 17 bravery, 16 aggression. He's just so good. Nothing below a 10 except for heading in any areas that matter. Nothing below a 10 but heading. And I don't really care that much about heading. I care more about jumping reach, which also isn't good, but I think we could get by with one player not being the monster in the air. I think he's going to be a stud. So I'm very happy with Ray and Pino. And I think that's it. That's all the stuff I wanted to talk to you about before we got into the game. So let's get into the game. Let's get into the team selection. This is what I think our strongest squad is right now. Berkey, Meunier, Papetti, Zagadou, Guerrero, Camavinga, Bellingham, Reina, Sancho, Holland, Moukoko. We have a few injuries. Marco Reus suffered a broken ankle, so he's out another 5 weeks to 2 months. I think that's his career over. He's not going to sign a new contract with us. His physicals have taken a nosedive. His ability in general has taken a nosedive. His contract is running out. I don't think I'm going to renew it. I know he's the captain, but he's of no use to us on a football pitch. And I can't have any baggage to have to carry around on $275K a week. I don't know what he'd want for a new contract. Let's actually see. I'm not going to sign him, but I want to see what he wants. He wants to be a regular starter, which is not happening. If anything, you're a fringe player. He probably won't even accept that. Let's see how much he wants. 170K. Yeah, that's not happening. You deserve like 30, 40, 50 at the most. So yeah, he's not going to be coming back. Let's not submit that. So yeah, we've got him injured, but he's the only injury right now. We've got some players ineligible because they played for the second team, which I'm glad to have them play for the second team, so I'm not too upset with that. But a little bit of fitness issues because we just got back from the World Cup break, and not all these players made the World Cup or stayed with their clubs. Like Guerrero, Portugal went out pretty early. Petty and Zagadou didn't get called up. Meunier, Belgium got knocked out kind of early. Jude Bellingham's fit, but yeah, he wasn't fit for a while because England was knocked out very early. Sancho didn't get called for whatever reason. Holland didn't make it. Norway didn't make the World Cup. And Mukoko's Cameroonian for some reason. So that's the squad. Let's get into this match. I've waffled enough. Let's play our fierce rivals, Schalke. I'm going to say we're the favorites here, so go out there and give our fans a performance to cheer for. Did not get that much of a result. I figured a little bit more result since it's a rivalry match. Usually they respond pretty well, but not this time. Ryan, it's Derby Day. How much do you look forward to taking on your local rivals? It's always a tremendous occasion, and the atmosphere is something to behold. Hopefully we can harness the energy and intensity of the day and send the fans home happy. Marcus Weinzierl has a reputation for putting the defensive side of the game first with his Schalke side. What do you think of the way they play the game and how you go about trying to break them down? It's very dull to see a side sit 10 men behind the ball and let you struggle to break them down, but it's what we'll have to do. Marcus has to do what he has to get a result, and he doesn't have the confidence in his strikers to get the job done, so this is what happens. It's unusual to hear a manager speaking so candidly. Do you think showing a lack of respect for Marcus Weinzierl and his playing style? I'm not going to apologize. I don't think so. I'm just answering the question you asked me. There's nothing disrespectful about expressing an opinion. So our squad coming off 1 loss and 4 wins in their last 5 games. Let's see what Schalke's form looks like. They're coming off... Ooh, they're in good form. 4 wins and a draw. So Schalke playing well, and they're 5-1-2-2. Like I said, they play defensive football, so we're currently 5 points clear of Augsburg with 3 games in hand. I think Bayern Munich are actually closest to us if they win their games in hand, they'll be second place. But they are on 37 points. So we're 10 points ahead with Bayern Munich on the same amount of games played. That's huge. Like, that is huge for our season. We are pulling away from Bayern Munich. It took us all season to get a lead against Bayern last year. And we've done it pretty early. We've started the season so fantastically, only dropping 2 points, that we are so far ahead of Bayern at this point. You got to mark us out as the favorites. They would be in second place if they win their games in hand. So this is huge. Every single game is huge for this team. Schalke are not bad either. They're in 9th place. They're in good form. And we haven't started this game as fantastically as we have the past couple. We've usually gotten off to pretty quick scoring drives. But not this time, as Reina has a chance, and the all-rare Gio Reyna headed goal. You don't see that very often, but I will take it. Meunier crossing in to Gio Reyna, lays it off to Bellingham, plays it back to Meunier, puts in a first-time cross. Reyna in buckets of space, heads it into the back of the net. That is 1-0 Dortmund. It took us a little bit longer than usual, 24 minutes or so, but bruised ankle, you're fine. But we got the goal in the end. It hasn't been a dominant performance. They don't have a shot or anything, so that's pretty good. Defensively, we've been dominant. But offensively, it's not been the most impressive game so far. Not creating the amount of chances we normally create. We're normally like up to 7 or 8 shots at this point. But, I mean, we got the goal. That's what's important. And we're going to get a penalty, it looks like. Looks like Guerrero was taken down by Amin Harit in the box. And it will be Erling Haaland to step up to take it. And I believe I'm right to say he's missed one penalty for us this entire series. He's taken nearly every single one of them. And I think he's only missed one, if he did even miss one. He's been great from the spot. I know I just cursed him, but it's Erling Haaland, so I'm not too worried anyways. And he still scores, because it's Erling freaking Haaland. He's the greatest striker in the world. Yeah, I think I'm pretty fair to say he's the greatest striker in the world. He won the Ballon d'Or. He won FIFA Pro Best Men's Player. He was in FIFA Pro Player of the Year. He had every individual reward you can get. Went to Haaland. He is the best player in the world. Step aside Messi. Step aside Ronaldo. It is Erling Haaland time. And hopefully he'll be here for years to come. Hopefully we can get a contract with him. Just need these clubs to just piss off. 2-0. I'm going to say things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better. It wasn't the most dominant performance. I know I can get better from you. You weren't that bad, but I have faith. And let's start the second half. And we're going to have highlight almost immediately. Reina with a cross into Zagadou. That's pretty much game over. 3-0 to Dortmund. We don't concede 3 goals very often, so I think I'm pretty confident in saying that's game over. Gio Reyna getting on the assist this time. His keeper completely wrong-footed by the Zagadou header. Zagadou is a big man, 6'5", so he's got a little bit of ability in the air. So it's good to see him scoring a goal. I think Papetti actually scores more than Zagadou does, which I'm not sure what the reason for that is, because Zagadou's the better player in the air. He's 6'5". I mean, Papetti's like 6'1", 6'2", I think something like that. He's not a big player at all, so I mean, that's not short, but still, it's not 6'5". In terms of subs I'll need to make, Sancho's not played well. He's got that little bruised ankle. I might be taking him off pretty soon. It's Papetti, speaking of the devil, he scores a goal to put us 4-0 up, his 5th goal of the season, playing with the swagger of potential champions. It's only January, but we're already talking about a possible championship. I like that. Let's take off Sancho. Actually, I'm going to take off Haaland, too. He only has 1 goal, doesn't he? Yeah, just 1. I never like to take him off when he's on a hat trick, but I'm actually going to play Kyle Jorge as the complete forward. Take Haaland off. Don't want to risk him. The game's over. No reason to risk Haaland getting injured and derailing our season, because that would derail our season. I mean, Moukoko might still do all right as the lone striker. I'd probably switch to just a lone striker and bring on another winger on the left-hand side again. But it wouldn't be as good. It's never going to be as good as Haaland and Moukoko. Let's bring on Yusuf Demir. He actually played really well last time out, so I'm not too worried about bringing him out anymore. He was not good last season. But so far this season, he's been fine. I haven't seen him do anything wrong, so I'm very comfortable playing Yusuf Demir. And I'm happy about that, because I definitely need a number 2 guy. We've got a lot of options. We've got a lot of players with the left foot that can play on that right-hand side. But I think he's the best one. Moukoko. Gio Reyna to Moukoko, the greatest partnership, other than Reyna to Haaland, probably. That's probably the second greatest partnership in the world. Reyna to Moukoko. Second, like I said, second best to only Reyna to Haaland. Reyna's so good. He's a world-class player. He is one of the best midfielders in the world. And he's only 20 years old. And Moukoko's only 18 years old, and he's already one of the best strikers in the world. Let's take Reyna off. Don't need him to get injured. He's gotten a little bit of an injury problem with him, so I definitely don't want to get him injured. And that's going to be about game anyways. A 5-0 win, it looks like, unless they get a cheeky equalizer. Not equalizer, but cheeky goal back. And we might even score another one. As Moukoko is through on goal. Tight angle, though. He's never going to score from... Okay, never mind. Don't doubt Yusufa Moukoko, I guess. I was about to say he could never score that from that kind of angle, but he proved me wrong. I don't know if he went through the keeper's legs or what exactly happened there, but what a shot that was. Let's see this again. Does it go through the keeper's legs? I think it goes right underneath his arm. It's hard to tell from that angle. Let me go back. Here. Did it go through his arm or did it go? Let's switch the camera. If I go, how do I do that? A camera behind goal? No. Oh, replay camera. That's what I want. Let's go behind goal. Okay, that's not going to help. Well, it might help. Let's also slow the highlight. Okay, I can't tell. It looks pretty good, though. Let's go back to director. And one higher. It's not that big of a deal, but great goal by Moukoko. And we go 6-0 up on fierce rivals Schalke. They didn't have a shot. It was 25 shots to none. That is the most dominant performance. 66% possession to 34. That is the most dominant performance of my reign here at Dortmund. I think it has to be. A 6-0 where they didn't have a shot against their team that was 9th place in the league, playing in really good form. Greatest performance of the series so far. Very happy. It wasn't the biggest game in the world. It was a rivalry match, but it wasn't like Dortmund Bayern or wasn't a Champions League match, but still, that's a huge win. You certainly have the bragging rights over Schalke following that demolition. What did you make of the game? It was a fantastic result for us. I'm especially pleased for the fans who were simply magnificent today. Schalke failed to register a single shot on target, shot at all. Is that a reflection of your complete dominance today? We played perfectly. Now the next step is to do the same thing on a consistent basis. Because we can. Because we're the best team in the world. I believe that whenever you got Holland, you have a good chance of being the best team in the world. Whenever you have Holland and Moukoko and Reina, you definitely have a chance to be the best team in the world. Bondswell wants an improved deal for Bellingham. How about you get sacked? This almost never doesn't work. Interesting you mentioned that. Sacked. Suck a fart. 18 games unbeaten with one draw in there, I believe. And of course, this doesn't count Champions League. This is just in the league. No draws. Oh, there's the draw. 2-2 Augsburg. Yeah, I knew there was a draw in there. 18 games without losing. And that's since the start of the Bundesliga. We haven't lost a Bundesliga game, have we? We've drawn one, and yeah, no losses in the Bundesliga so far. Only green and a little bit of yellow, orange, whatever you want to call it. And that one annoying loss to Inter Milan. This season is going great. And by the way, our first knockout round has been drawn. We got Olympiacos. So that's fortunate. That's probably going to be next episode, too. I'll probably come back for... I think I'll come back for the first game against Olympiacos because I feel like the game's going to be beyond reach by the first game. It is away from home, but I still think we're going to put enough by Olympiacos that I won't need to show the second leg. So it is right after Bayern Munich, too, so that stinks. I can't really show both because that's just two games too close to each other. I want to get through this series a little bit faster than that. So I think I'm going to skip over this away leg against Bayern. We've got a good lead in the Bundesliga. Hopefully we'll continue that over the month of January into February. So next episode will be Olympiacos in the Champions League first knockout round, first leg. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials are also in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.